From the Atlas Center at the University of Colorado, this is News Team Boulder.
Hello and welcome to News Team Boulder. I'm Lindsay Mandel.
And I'm Ashley Hancock. Here's what's happening today. Air traffic control is getting back up to speed after a computer system failure early this morning. The glitch forced air traffic controllers to enter flight plans in manually. This caused flight cancellations and delays across the country, leaving passengers waiting to see whether or not they'd be reaching their destination. The FAA says this is the same system that failed in August of 2008. The system has now been restored, but flights are not quite back on track.
Traveling this Thanksgiving will be a bit more crowded. At this time last year, traveling during Thanksgiving holiday dropped 25.2% in the wake of the financial crisis. According to AAA, there will be a 1.4% increase over last year, which means around 38.4 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles away from home. AAA says airfare, lodging, and rental cars have all dropped in price. The holiday season is a popular time for students to travel, and News Team's Danielle Brady shows us how Wardenburg is helping them to stay healthy along the way.
Okay. As we approach the end of the semester, many students are starting to make their holiday travel plans. Here at Wardenburg, they can get advice on how to stay healthy here at home and even when studying abroad.
Well, our travel clinic experience is quite extensive. We first, when a student comes in, we ask them about their itinerary. What kind of accommodations will they have? Where are they going to be staying?
Once they know the basics, Wardenburg medical staff gives the student a checkup and advice on how to travel safely.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to read over all the packets, but as far as, their recommendations for immunizations and stuff, they're not telling me to get way too many, and I think it's definitely right on, and my parents seem to be happy with everything. So.
But the best medical advice this travel season is simply
hand washing. People need to be really obsessed about washing their hands. Planes are incubators for viruses, especially respiratory viruses. So yeah, I guess that would be the best advice. And I think a lot of times students come in for these visits and think it's just, oh yeah, I'm going to come in and get my paperwork signed, and then they leave here with this wealth of information and all these, this awareness of these risks that they will have when they travel.
Of this clinic, a travel itinerary and medical supplies gives you a good, healthy place to start. Danielle Brady, News Team Boulder.
The travel clinic is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Wardenburg to schedule an appointment. CU has proposed a new parking ban that would ban first-year students from parking on campus. Let's go to News Team's Natalie Smithson live on CU campus for more details.
As the number of CU students keeps increasing, the university is trying to find cost-effective ways to provide students with parking. Some are proposing a ban on first-year students parking in on-campus lots to provide space for off-campus commuters, and reactions to the proposal have to be mixed.
I don't think freshmen should be allowed to park on campus. I think those spots should be safe for the people that are having to drive to and from every day and really need a place to park. And it's, most freshmen, there's a very low percentage, I believe, that actually live off campus. Most of them are living on campus, and you can pretty much walk everywhere. And there's a great bus system in Boulder, and I think that they should definitely just leave those open.
University officials are faced with a tough decision to either use school funds to build parking or new classrooms and dorms. Proponents of the ban argue that Boulder's great public transportation system, along with carpooling and car sharing programs, the ban is a reasonable option, but some students are not convinced.
I really don't think it's a good idea to ban freshmen parking on campus, because realistically they're going to bring their cars up here one way or another, and I know that it's already really crowded parking on the hill, and if all the freshmen decide that that's where they're going to park because that's their only option, that's not going to make the situation any better.
Now, this ban isn't set in stone. University officials began to listen to the City of Boulder as well as neighborhood planning boards to make sure that anyone who will be impacted by the ban will have their voice heard and taken into consideration. Reporting live for From parking lot 310, Natalie Smithson, News Team Boulder.
Thanks, Natalie. If passed, this proposal would not be put into effect until the following school year.
There's a top model on CU's campus crowned by Tyra Banks herself. CU sophomore and Boulder native Nicole Fox catwalked her way to the top, claiming the title of America's Next Top Model. She shared the excitement with her family in Boulder during the televised finale last night. Fox will receive a $100,000 contract with CoverGirl Cosmetics, along with a cover and 6-page spread in 17 magazine.
When we come back, Congress is investigating the Fort Hood shooting and memo that raises even more questions. A memo written 2 years ago about the Fort Hood shooting suspect is troubling to Congress. Hearings about the incident began this morning. One hot topic is the memo written by a supervisor at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center, where suspect Nadal Hassan used to work. Hassan was written up for inappropriate counseling techniques, amongst other issues.
The memo is very, very troubling. It raises another red flag, and I think that's one of the things that we're going to have to do. Why were these red flags missed? I think the other thing that you're going to see here is there's a continuation of the problem that there is not good information sharing.
Remains in the hospital and has been charged with 13 counts of premeditated murder.
Afghanistan's President Hamid Karzai has been sworn in for a second term, but under the suspicion of a fraud-filled election. Karzai vowed to tackle corruption and drug trafficking after he was put under intense international pressure. Karzai's first task is to steer Afghanistan down a path of reform and peace. President Obama wrapped up an 8-day tour of Asia, holding talks with South Korean President Lee Myung-bak. The leaders discussed nuclear negotiations involving North Korea and Iran. Obama also announced he will send American envoy Stephen Bosworth to North Korea December 8th for talks on eliminating the country's nuclear weapons program. During his trip, Obama also spoke with American troops stationed in South Korea.
High schoolers around the country will be getting a look at CU's views on social issues this month. Educational video service Channel 1 was on campus this fall to film. News Team's Kylie Burse was with them.
Every day, 6 million teens.
Channel 1's story will be shown to 6 million high school students around the country.
Dementia, Alzheimer's, and other memory-related diseases are 19 times more likely to affect former NFL players than the general population. That's according to a recent study by the University of Michigan. News Team's Michonne Rich says concussions are also a concern for CU players.
CU athletes prove they're just as smart as their peers. The NCAA released its 4-year graduation success rate for GSR for all Division I institutions for scholarship athletes. This chart is in comparison to the federal graduation rate for student athletes. This includes football and men and women's basketball. The NCAA also publishes the GSR data for all sport programs, 5 of which CU has achieved a perfect 100% rate. Since the last snowstorm, Eldora has been adding to what nature gave them, making snow at night to prepare for their opening day tomorrow. 9 a.m. is the call time, and there will be a 24-inch base of packed white powder and machine-made snow. 4 different trails and 4 lifts will be open from morning until 4 p.m.
Letting dogs off leash in Boulder parks could have consequences for dogs and residents. But News Team's Keisa McCoy found out what the community really thinks about the Green Tag program.